Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope for March 2025. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. My horoscopes are based on the UK time zone, and please watch them in this order: for your rising sign first, then your sun sign, and finally for your moon sign. So I'm going to break March down into 4 weeks, and I'm going to pay attention to what the moon is doing, how it moves through your chart, what areas of life it supports you in, and when. So, starting with week one, or the first 9 days of March, really, Saturday the 1st until Sunday the 9th of March. On the 1st, we have the moon in Pisces, and that's in your second house of money and securities and belongings. And that's at the tail end of a new moon that we had on the 27th of February. There was a new moon in Pisces on the 27th. A new moon is when the moon is pitch black. It pulls in a ton of energy in order to get ready for its next 28-day cycle. So the 27th, the 28th, and the 1st of March are all of this Pisces energy being pulled into your second house. And Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's a water sign, and it's very much about the bigger picture. So on an intuitive level, the 1st of March, but also the 2 days prior, may inspire you through your dreams, through your intuition, to find a different way of creating more abundance, more prosperity in your life, a second source of income, or even starting your own business. On the 1st of March as well, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, that goes retrograde until the 12th of April 2025. And I always mention that during a Venus retrograde, it's not the best time to start a new business or a new romantic relationship. And in your case, it retrogrades in Aries in your third house of communication. So when it comes to business particularly, I would hold off on that if possible and start the business after the 12th of April if possible. Then the moon moves on the 2nd and 3rd of March. It goes into Aries and it joins Venus and also the asteroid Chiron, which is the wounded healer. They're all in Aries in that third house of communication. So on the 2nd and 3rd, it's kind of interesting because communication-wise, you'll be able to kind of look outside of the box and look at things that necessarily you wouldn't love or be interested in. And you may have a desire to kind of express some sort of message to heal other people. So you may notice yourself becoming very charitable and very humanitarian around the 2nd and 3rd. Also on the 3rd, we have Mercury, the communication planet, ingressing into Aries and also joining that other energy in your third house of communication. So Mercury is the communication planet. In the traditional chart, the third house is ruled by Gemini and it's associated with Mercury. Mercury in Aries is very forthright, it's very direct, and it's very much about moving forward and overcoming obstacles. And it's interesting, but you are Aquarius. You're the sign of the water bearer. You're the sign of the humanitarian, the teacher. I think at the beginning of March here, you may find that you want to go on some sort of a crusade to save the world, or to save humanity. So if something occurs to you at the beginning, through your intuition, through your dreams, that's designed to help other people, maybe you come up with an invention or you come up with a new way of doing something that would either help the environment or help other people or simplify a process that could help millions of people. If you're an inventor, a scientist, then please do go on that crusade. And despite the fact that Venus is retrograde, where I said it's not so good to start a new business or a new romantic relationship, maybe we can cheat a little bit, and if it's a new humanitarian venture, it may not qualify and you are safe to go ahead with it. As I go on with your horoscope through the month, maybe that'll become clearer. Bear with me on that one. So the moon then moves on. It goes into Taurus on the 4th and 5th, and it moves into your 4th house of family and your roots, and it joins Uranus, the planet of the miraculous and the unexpected. So that's really positive in the sense that you may hear some good news from family members or from something that you rely on as one of the most sacred structures in your life. It could be your home, it could be your career that you've had for many, many years. You may get some really good news from a person or one of those securities that you rely on and that you truly value. And that's on the 4th and 5th of March. Then on the 6th and 7th, the moon moves on and it moves into Gemini and it joins Jupiter, the great benefic, the planet of growth and good luck and good fortune. And both of them are in Gemini. And I love it when these two combine because Jupiter's glyph or symbol is silver and the moon is gold. So I always see it as the glittering silver and gold of the moon and Jupiter. So this is good luck, good fortune in Gemini. It's about communication. But the 5th house is what you love to do work-wise. And it's also love and in a romantic way. And it's also your inner child and your own children, right? So with the moon being in Gemini in that 5th house, again, I think you may get some good news or some sort of a brain flash that says, hey, this is something that you could really, really enjoy doing work-wise, or that you get some good news via your family members, your partner, or your children, or that simply your inner child is very happy and that you feel super upbeat and like life is good and you don't have a care in the world. Ultimately, it's a 2-day period that is very, very good here in March, the 6th and 7th. Then the moon moves on into Cancer and it goes into your 6th house of daily routine and structures and even your physical health. And it joins your transiting ascendant, Hades and Mars. So the transiting ascendant is your natural default setting. Hades is what you don't want to look at, and Mars is ambition and drive. And with the moon joining all of those in your 6th house, there's going to be a natural focus on your own physical well-being and taking care of your responsibilities. So you don't do that in a glum kind of a way, as in, oh, I've got all these errands to run. It's really, I love myself, therefore I'm going to look at my diet, make sure that's good and improve it if it isn't. I'm going to take care of the kids and the family. I'm going to take care of the house and the bills. So anything that needs sorting out, the 8th and 9th are really good for that. And on the 8th as well, if you're a stargazer, it's the best day in the month to see Mercury in the night sky. So look out for it low in the sky in the west just after sunset, and you'll see the communication planet glittering at you. And Mercury is in Aries at 6 degrees in your 3rd house. So again, it's going to mean that you're bubbling with ideas, that you have a lot of interest in finding new ways of kind of being of service to other people, or inventing new ways of doing things, or finding different solutions. It really means that you have a lot of pep in your step and that the wheels are turning and that you're considering what could be rather than what is. So in this first week, the moon starts in your 2nd house and it ends up in your 6th house. So that's pretty much the bottom half of your chart, excluding the 1st house itself. So really the focus is on your securities, what makes you feel at home. You're going to have a sense of being rooted and grounded, but also you're interested in what those roots can produce and what you can grow into and what you can contribute. So the first week, I think you have a great sense of, I'm at home, I belong, but also these are all the wonderful things that I can accomplish because I have all these good things in my life. Week 2, Monday to Sunday, the 10th to the 16th of March. On the 10th, 11th, and 12th, we have the moon in Leo, and that's in your 7th house of relationships. Remember that Venus is in retrograde still in your 3rd house. So it's great for good relationships with colleagues and networking and business relationships. It's not so good for starting new romantic relationships. The moon then moves on into Virgo on the 13th and 14th. Virgo is very much about taking all the information, assessing it, making sense of it. It's like the bookkeeper, right? And the eighth house is authorities and institutions. So if you have to do the taxes or you have to balance the books, or you have a legal thing going on, or mediation or negotiations, the 13th and 14th are great for that. You're able to get on top of all those things, create meaning, come up with the right answer. But also on the 14th of March, we have a lunar eclipse on the south node. It's a full moon in Virgo, and it happens in that eighth house for you. So an eclipse, the effects of it can be felt for 6 months. So until August, anything that shows up in that officialdom side of your life, red tape, bureaucracy, visa applications, legal issues, if you apply yourself to them directly with that moon in Virgo, you'll be able to absorb all the information, come up with the right answer, and then defend that if it requires defending. So really, I would say if you have any kind of negotiations going on, or legal stuff, or anything where you would need to hire a professional, I don't want to give bad advice here. Let me know what you think in the comments. But I think you're the professional, and I think that if, let's say you hire a lawyer, at least have a relationship with that lawyer where you have access to the information, you can read it yourself, you can come up with your own kind of meaning from it, and you can have a discussion with that professional in the know. If there's a situation where there isn't a professional required, I would say that for the next 6 months you can learn anything. You can become very adept in any subject, if not even an expert. So Aquarius, you're blessed here via this eclipse that you'll be able to absorb information like a sponge until August and really come up with the right answers. The moon moves on into Libra on the 15th and 16th of March, and it goes into your ninth house of travel and education and the higher realms. And Libra is a bridge. So what's going to be really rewarding is visiting a new place, or studying a new subject, or trying to connect with the higher realms on your own. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but on the 15th of March, Mercury, the communication planet, goes retrograde until the 7th of April 2025. Now, when Mercury goes retrograde, expect issues with communication and transportation. So give yourself extra time for delays or things not being delivered or misunderstandings. But the good thing about a Mercury retrograde is that you're willing to see things differently, and you're willing to consider different opinions and ideas. And it opposes your moon in Libra in that ninth house. So you particularly may be willing to delve into an area of study or knowledge that you've been uninterested in the past, but that has genuine value. And if you were to study it, you could become a real expert. And this is just 2 days after that eclipse, that full moon in Virgo. So if anything comes across your desk that's a completely new subject that in the past you would have dismissed out of hand, as in, I'm German, we don't do yoga, something like that, then pay attention to it and be open to new ideas like that, because they could really benefit you moving forward. So in week 2, let's see the houses the moon covered. It started in Leo in your 7th house on the 10th, and it ended on the 16th in your 9th. So that's the third quadrant, houses 7, 8, and 9. So that's all about the public life, colleagues, networking, dealing with the authorities, learning, studying, education, institutions, universities, new subjects, all of that stuff. So if you're a bit of a brain box, if you have a desire to learn, week 2 is the time to do it. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 17th to the 23rd of March. The moon is still in Libra on the 17th, so that theme continues, the ability to learn and to be open to new, unfamiliar subjects. Then the moon goes into Scorpio on the 18th and 19th, and that goes into your 10th house of work, and it joins Vesta in Scorpio. Vesta is the home, the hearth. If you look into your existing work, you may uncover some sort of a truth. If you've been working on a complex issue that's eluded you, it's very likely that you find the answer to that problem on the 18th and 19th. Then the moon moves on into Sagittarius on the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, and that goes into your 11th house of hopes and dreams, and it opposes Jupiter in your 5th. So again, expect some good news via your family members, from your own inner child feeling good, one of your hopes and dreams being realized, either in work or in family or in learning. Expect a gold medal in some way to come into your life, whether that's literal or metaphorical. You'll feel really good and something positive is going to come your way. On the 20th, the sun goes into Aries. It moves into Aries and your 3rd house of communication. So the desire to communicate, but also to learn, is going to get even stronger, particularly if that information is designed to help and support other people. And also on the 20th, we have the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. It's the autumn equinox if you're in the southern hemisphere. Regardless of location, this is the day of the year where there are nearly equal amounts of day and night. So light and dark, total balance, right and wrong, up and down, positive, negative. You'll be able to see things in a very black and white way, and it means that for you, there's very little room for confusion. So the 3rd week here for you, out of all of the signs of the zodiac, Aquarius, I would say you have quite an easy time of it here. A lot of the other signs have a really complicated time. But for you, it's really positive and pretty straightforward. So the moon started in Libra in your 9th on the 17th, and it ended on the 23rd in your 12th. So that's the 9th house and the 4th quadrant. So really, in week 3, be open to study, be open to a new subject you usually wouldn't consider. It will allow you to transcend your existing self and to upgrade yourself through that extra knowledge. Even if it seems arbitrary or silly. Whatever shows up, really give it a good go and see if it has any value and study it. It will, what's the saying? It will level you up. Yeah. Week 4, Monday to Monday, the 24th to the 31st of March. Moon still in Capricorn on the 24th. I didn't mention this. In week 3, finally at the end, the moon is in Capricorn on the 23rd. And also on the 24th, moving into week 4. So the moon in Capricorn in your 12th house of spirituality and spiritual strength. That's interesting because it means that if you look into spirituality or prayer or meditation or contemplation, you'll get a very concrete and useful answer as a result. So it's answered prayers. So not only is it information that comes across your desk that might be useful for you to study at the beginning of the week, at the end of week 3, it may be that you get information via the higher realms on a spiritual level that also allow you to transcend your current self and to level up, so to speak. So that then applies into week 4 on the 24th, where the moon is in Capricorn, still in your 12th house. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but week 4 is Monday to Monday, the 24th to the 31st of March. Moon in Capricorn on the 24th, then the moon in Aquarius in your sign on the 25th and the 26th. And it joins Pluto and Pallas in Aquarius in your 1st house. So I think this is a sense or a 2-day period where you just feel at ease, with a sense of comfort, but still the wheels are turning and you may get some really useful ideas, again, that are designed to help and support other people. On the 27th of March, Venus, because it's retrograde, it moves back into Pisces, and Mercury does the same. That's retrograde too. It moves back into Pisces on the 29th of March. The moon moves into Pisces on the 27th and 28th. And now we've got a ton of energy in that second house of money and securities and belongings. So again, you may see the way you create an income, or if you're retired, the way you receive a pension, or if you're a student, your loans, or family members supporting you. You may see that differently, and through your intuition, you may see an alternative to make improvements to that, whether it's taking the pressure off family members if you're a student, or reducing the loan amounts, or starting a side gig to supplement your pension, or if you're working, either presenting extra work that would then create extra pay. It could also relate to your securities, your assets, so your houses, your belongings, your biggest assets. And it's via your intuition and your dreams and your connection to the higher realms that you may see things differently, and you may find a solution to a problem that you hadn't found before. So that's a very personal, interesting 2-day period that then has a very practical outcome. So I dream, and then by using those dreams, I can change how much the mortgage is, for instance. The moon moves into Aries on the 29th and 30th, and it goes into your third house of communication. And on the 29th, specifically, we have a solar eclipse on the North Node. It's a new moon in Aries, and again, because the new moon is interrupted, you'll feel the effects of this for 6 months, so until the end of August. And a new moon, pitch black, pulling energy in to start its new cycle. Here it's pulling in fire energy, it's pulling in Aries energy. We've also got the transiting midheaven in that third house, and we've got Chiron in that third house. So for the next 6 months, the energy is, how do I heal my work, my income, my existing job, or how do I create completely new work that's designed to heal and help and support other people. It's similar to what I said at the beginning of the horoscope for you guys. But that is amplified and underlined because that theme is now going to be present for the next 6 months, and you can do a lot of good in the world by applying yourself. On the 30th, we have Neptune, the water planet of dreams and the intuition and the unconscious and subconscious and collective unconscious and subconscious. That has been in Neptune that has been in Pisces, the sign it rules, for a very long time. And it exits Pisces on the 30th of March and goes into Aries. And for you, it moves into Aries in your third house of communication. So again, the focus is, how do I now realize my hopes and dreams? And how do I communicate that to myself first and foremost? As in, what is the dream? Either to change my income or to do something that is designed to help the world. And how do I now go about manifesting that? And it's the day after the eclipse. So Neptune joining and riding that wave of that eclipse really means that from the end of March until the end of August, you Aquarius are going to be able to invent something marvelous and new, at the very least. The 31st of March, we've got the moon going into Taurus, and that joins Uranus in your fourth house. So again, expect no friction, good times, positive news as far as your structures and securities and the things you rely on in life are concerned, and your family members. So in week 4, the final week of March, the moon starts on the 24th in Capricorn in your 12th house, and it ends up on the 31st in your 4th house. So that's house 12 and 4, and then the first quadrant. So the 12th house, spiritual information coming in that allows you to transcend yourself. Then really integrating that and changing your perception of the world, and probably applying it to the way you create an income and whether there are alternatives to that. And then finishing the month very easy and harmoniously, decompressing and spending time with family and receiving some good news in that area of your life. So Aquarius, it looks like an amazing month for you. I hope you have a fabulous time. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. To draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, that's not the end of the world. I can use sunrise. But the problem with that is that the ascendant isn't going to be correct, nor are the house placements. So because of that, there's a process called chart rectification, where you send me 10 or more significant life events, and I can manually work out your time of birth. And then I have your chart in front of me. By analyzing your chart, I can see your strengths and weaknesses, what your vocational aptitudes are, life purpose, relationships, family life, income, finance, spiritual development, friendships, connection with the authorities. As a personality profile, it's amazing. So if you're looking to get to know yourself better, it's wonderful. To look at what's coming up in future, I look at the progress chart in transits. If it's near your birthday, I also draw up a solar return chart to tell me what's coming up in future. And if there's anything around travel or moving, I look at the astrocartography. So if you're interested in how different parts of the world influence you, please get in touch for a personal reading. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please. That's what helps it show up in searches. Subscribe for more videos in future. And if you know anyone who you think may be interested in this video, then please share it with them. That's what helps the channel grow, and it's a great way to support me. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.